Fuck. Fuck. The world's pissing me off. Work can go do one, although I'm going to be doing it while I'm doing this. And, what the fuck is, like, how do we have, well, A, how do we have a world with billionaires anyway? And then just open fashy stuff, you know. Like, besides the obvious reference to 20th century horrible fascists who are massively anti-Semitic and so on, like, there's no way to do a fascist salute that looks good, mate. And you can say, oh, it's, you know, I mean, I'm getting, like, second-hand interpretations from people that it's from that he's intending to do it as a Roman Empire, but it's sort of like, no. First off, Elon's not that clever. Second off, they're not the good guys. They're still another group of fascists who believe that people outside of their group are subhuman and therefore fine for slavery and murder. Oh. It's not good, mate. Not good. Not good. So anyway, that's that. Let's talk about Cyberbots. Cyberbots is a really fucking good game. I did a playthrough of it earlier, and I'm just trying to think of, like, recent things that I'm anywhere near far enough through to really talk about. So we're just going to talk about all the things I played lately. The one thing that I've played most of is like RPGs. We'll get to them in a minute, but I'm just going to quickly mention Cyberbots, because the cool thing about Cyberbots is the fucking boosters. You know, it's a 4-button fighting game, which is weird for Capcom anyway. You know, that period in the 90s, it was all 6 buttons. Everything was, we start with Street Fighter 2 and then work whatever difference it has. And Cyberbots has crazy maneuverability. It only has 2 proper attack buttons, one which is and then one button which is like a special thing for whatever normally an attack, but it's whatever your particular mech is. It's wild. Obviously, like, regular fighting game inputs work, but they don't do the usual stuff, and that's kind of really fucking cool. So, yes. I've got some bits to do. So, I'm going to be talking while I do that. It's not exciting, but I just don't have any time. And to be fair, like, recording myself playing Skies of Arcadia, because that's the current main thing I'm going through, it's just not very exciting, I don't think. Although I have got to the point where I'm going Francis Drake on the fucking thing and freeing slaves and, you know. The Valuans are very clearly like a stand-in for the Spanish at the start of the Age of Piracy. Despite the fact that, like sky pirates are an established thing in Skies of Arcadia, like, a lot of, like, the historical context of what's going on appears to be sort of early on in the Age of Piracy. If you were to transpose it onto a world where it's all floating islands and actually, like, magical stones and post-apocalyptic no less. That's a very common theme. No, 90s RPGs, post-apocalyptic. There was previously an apocalypse. You are past that now. Final Fantasy VII, Skies of Arcadia, fucking, what's it called? That one done by Shade. Grand Stream Saga. That's what it's called. And so on and so forth and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. Hello! What's up? Yeah. So anyway, like Skies Arcade, like actually like playing it again. Well, the game itself doesn't explain fuck all. Well, it does explain some things. It explains how core combat systems work. But like, what it should tell you, well, amongst the many things it should tell you. Yeah. What's up with you? Find a place to settle down and settle down. Don't walk on my phone, don't walk on my laptop. Yes, I love you too, Chi-Chi. I do. Oh, but yeah. Menace. But yeah, it doesn't explain its element system, which is kind of, I mean, it's fairly minor. And it does openly say, like, you pick the elements based on what magic you want to improve, and I have no fucking idea. I don't know. It might all be in the manual, though, and my copy of the manual went with my copy of Skies of Arcadia somewhere in Hinckley now, I think, hopefully. Max still has it all. A mate of mine, like, I just was like, look, you store loads of game stuff, take all the Dreamcast stuff, because somehow when I moved to London from Lancaster, I took all the Dreamcast stuff, apart from the actual fucking Dreamcast, which admittedly didn't work. But now, we're like fucking 15 years hence, and it's really easy to mod a Dreamcast to just play every Dreamcast game without even needing the fucking discs. Because the issue wasn't the Dreamcast itself. Well, it was the Dreamcast itself, but it was the laser. I think. It wasn't reading discs properly. Although I was reading some discs properly, so it's wild. I'm sure someone clever would know what was going on. Anyway, my point is, I don't have the manual, so I couldn't check if it was in there. But either way, it doesn't really explain its element system. It doesn't really explain what spells you get in what elements. Not really. You just kind of have to guess. It doesn't tell you that which particular menu you go in to gain more special attacks. It just doesn't tell you. It's fine. Worked it out. All good. Really, like, cool game, cool battle system. The focus on the focus bar is really interesting. And like the ship combat is actually pretty good if you know that you can just use heal whenever. Like if you're aware that you can just use magic and you've got someone who's just on your boss fights just every turn just going like, yeah, I'm gonna do the big heal now. Whoosh. That's brilliant. That's well good, that is. But otherwise you're just really stuck, you know? Anyway, it's a good game. Good. Apart from the bad bits. Not really any bad bits. All like the visual quirks I was getting, turns out like I could mess with the settings and it was all fine on my completely legitimate Dreamcast, which, as I mentioned, I don't have anymore. But like, it is really wild that Sega aren't releasing that. There must be something missing. Must be like missing code or something. I assume that must be it, because like they re-release everything else. You know, like what can't you play Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on? Anyway, I need to quickly Oh, are you kidding me? Is this a fucking zip file, mate? Oh. Don't you fucking dare, mate. No. Okay. Oh, 20% battery. I should probably put it on charge then, shouldn't I? That must be something. That must be something. I can't. No one with a guitar ever has an original thought. So yeah, I've been playing that. What else have I been playing? We did Disco Elysium, which was fun. Really good. not touching it for a long time because it is just a choose your own adventure book, and you can't really do them every weekend, can you? Fuck off. Right, okay. Yes, I get the picture, mate. Brilliant. I think that's all good. So yeah. The fuck was I on? Oh yeah, so Skies of Arcadia. Good. Still early days. Takes a long time to do anything in that game. I'm like 10, 20 hours in, and I've got like I'm not even that far, you know. There's presumably a lot more to it remaining. But yeah, still really good, really silly, really cartoony. It has that kind of vibe that I like from the first Grandia game, or things like that. The mixture of like exploration and also yes, I get emails. So yeah. God, this is going to be a fucking clusterfuck, isn't it? You're just listening to me nattering on. Thank you, by the way, if you are listening. I do appreciate it. Just appreciate having... just talking out loud. Because in the nicest way, like, a lot of stuff to talk about, like, just no one cares, you know? And it's nice to talk out loud about stuff instead of having to type and, you know... Everyone's on different clocks, so like every now and then, most days in fact, if they're from home or whatever, AOLP people will do like hangouts on Discord, which is really good and actually really fun if you catch it, but on UK time and have school runs, so I'm doing all of them at the moment. So I'm here till about 4ish, because today we've got after school club, which means that I can pick her up at 4:30 instead of usual school times, which I need, because every other week I'm not allowed to. Not that I don't secretly just sneak around. Anyway, besides giving you like information so you can kidnap me and my family, what else have I been playing? Playing Cyberbots. Been playing Skies of Arcadia. About to start playing some Dragon Quest 3 once I finish one of the other games. By the way, that's the next RPG club. Oh no, I'm spoilering things in someone else's podcast. Join the RPG Years Discord. Just do it. It's really fun. What else is it? What are we playing on deck? We played Disco. We played Disco Elysium. We played Detroit Becoming Human. That's a fucking stupid game, isn't it? Fucking hell. Like basic fucking Android shit. And you're there being like, okay, these would be really good questions if A, I hadn't majored in philosophy, and B, I hadn't read the complete works of Isaac Asimov. Because, like, it feels really rote. It's like the equivalent of when you watch any slightly dark comedian and you go, oh, he just wants to be Bill Hicks. But the problem is, you're talking about the single most... David Cage is informed by films. Thank you for agreeing with me, laptop. David Cage is informed by films. He's not actually he's not informed by the wider science fiction world around which these things are based on. Like, so these ideas are predominantly initially explored within novels. So, like I say, the works of Asimov, the works of Clarke, the works of Philip K. Dick, etc. Those are three really obvious choices, but you know what I mean. They're the ones that come to mind. Whereas Cage is influenced by you play Detroit Becoming Human, and you can tell he likes Blade Runner, and he likes AI, artificial intelligence, and there was another one. In fact, I think it might have been the Will Smith fucking iRobot film that I was talking about when we were playing it. And it's there, and like every single beat is so predictable, and it's so like, I don't know, like maybe you should have made a film, but it would have been a very predictable film with very much of all the same like things, which are just it felt to me like a collection of references. Although people do enjoy it, and like Ashley really enjoyed it, she like really engaged with the characters, and like is now on a fan fiction bender, reading lots and lots of fan fiction about Connor and the man. Can't remember his name. It was very cute though. It was sweet. Like generally there's some good bits and there's some bad bits and there's some bits which I'm like, yeah. It was fine. It was fine. She wanted to then go on to Heavy Rain, which doesn't work properly on Steam Deck. I mean, it does technically work on Steam Deck if you want to shake your Steam Deck around like mad, but I paid a lot of money for that. Not going to want to risk it breaking. Still plugging away at Final Fantasy 13. I'm up to the point where you can actually have full parties again and stuff, and hopefully eventually we'll get through it, but I need more than 10 minutes at a time with a video game before children wake up or require something. If I talk about it like that, I've done loads, haven't I? Yeah, at some point, I'm going to do some AOLP of some Neo Geo arcade games, I think. I think that's what we're going to do. Maybe some Art Fighting. Maybe have another go at Art of Fighting 3, but pick a different character. Maybe pick someone who's, like, basic bitch, because, like, really, really, like, basic characters I tend to flourish with, almost like I'm not very good at them. Anyway. Yeah. Right. No, it's not a many thanks, it's a kind regards. I talk to too many experts. That's all, many thanks. Please do the thing that you're being paid to do. Please just let me do my thing. So it's all gone, it goes away. God damn. I'm really quite miserable with my job at the moment, and I'll be fine in like a few days, but it's just one of those things where when things are bad, they feel really, really bad. When things are good, they feel just about okay. And really, what we need is a society where we don't actually need to do these fucking things. But we're not going to get there because that would cost money to the people who make more money than they need. I'm in this weird, like, position where I can't complain if my mother-in-law says something absolutely fucking stupid about money. She earns lots, like ridiculous amounts, and she works less than she's ever worked. Like, in terms of the actual work, there's just less of it. You know? Not like as in, like, she's doing poorly for having a lot. It's just, she doesn't have to do as much, and she gets paid more than she's ever been paid before. And she's complaining that she has to pay back the tax-free amount of her income. And I'm there being like, yeah, but even with that, you're earning twice what we earn together as two people who are, like, expected by society to be able to thrive, raise children, save up so that we can take over this house. Because that's the thing, she's my landlady as well. And the idea is I'm meant to be buying it off her. How? I'm someone who isn't already set up. That's the thing. And you can say that you scrimp and save, and we already do that. if you hadn't noticed, a lot of my output on here is yar har fiddle dee dee, and you can save everywhere you can, and you can try it. You can get to the point where you can make your life absolutely miserable, but gotta feed children, gotta clothe children, gotta feed myself. Yep, have to occasionally. I can turn the heating off when it's only me in the house. But you know, I can turn off every single light as it goes. I can skip meals, as I often do, but that's not intentional. That's just a certain flavour of autism. Ow! You are pointy, small cat. Ugh. And you just and still it's never enough. It's never enough. What are you expected to do? Well, I know what I'm expected to do. What am I meant to do? Where has this all come from? You know? And it's not like we don't work. That's the thing that gets me. It's not like no one's working. It's just that one person can sit at a desk and pursue, make a few decisions every now and then, occasionally. It's the thing about people whose job is to make a decision. They're being like, well, okay, but who's actually doing it? Why don't they get... I mean, I'm just spouting really basic, like, mighty white bread flavour Marxism, and yet, you know, like, but it's not wrong, is it? They're really obvious questions we should be asking. Why is wealth the way it is? And why is it that we treat it like... Because when you talk to people and they treat capitalism as the core base level of human existence, what they have in their mind is, well, Peter farms some cabbages and he sells it to David, the market seller, who then sells it on to, and so on and so forth. And they don't go, well, that model doesn't really account for Elon, who has more wealth than anyone has had in history, does not require it, and is using it for nefarious means, is actually straight up a villain from a Saturday morning cartoon show. Yes, but if we didn't allow for these ludicrously wealthy people to be ludicrously wealthy, then we wouldn't have other people getting wealth. But they're not doing that. They're not sharing wealth. They're not creating opportunities for other people. They're creating opportunities for themselves to increase their wealth. I know I'm not arguing in any good faith here. I'm doing a classic Socrates straw man, but the point remains that, like, I am in a nation which has ludicrous wealth, and the situation I'm in is actually really good, but the pressure put upon us is not healthy for us, and the way in which we are expected to, the expectations placed upon you, they're not good for you. It's just not a good situation. And that's for people who are really well off. 90% of the world is in a significantly worse situation. And we could sort that. Really, actually not that difficultly. We just need to not have an executive class in the world. You just need to accept maybe there's a certain amount of wealth which you don't actually need. And maybe when it starts being into like company finances and so on, and you start saying, well, it's someone's investments into businesses and so on, maybe that shouldn't belong to them. Maybe that should belong to the business. Maybe we should all just have jobs and then get a certain amount for that. And maybe if we have more people than we require, maybe we just say, okay, well then shorter work weeks. Engage in something creative and fun and exciting and interesting. If we don't need to all be working all the time, then brilliant. don't all work all the time. This is just really fucking basic things, and I feel like I'm going mad just saying these fucking basic things. Really fucking basic things. Really fucking basic things. Why are we in the situation we're in? It's absolutely stupid. And these absolute maniacs with all this wealth, what are they fucking doing with it? They're still doing. Surely, like, you got a silly amount of money. Just don't do shit. Have some fun. Do something with joy involved. So they're literally like scurrying away, plotting the demise of humanity. It's fucked. Oh, this is so much less exciting and fun than I thought it was going to be, and I think I've been nattering for nearly half an hour. I haven't done a single fucking. Well, I've done a bit of work. Right, fucking. I need to stop putting 2024 as the year. It's 2025 now. Fucking hell. We could be in a utopia, guys. Like, you don't have to diverge that long ago. But the history of the 21st century is literally like a really small amount of people. Like the amount that you could fit within a school gymnasium. Just taking the rest of us for a ride for no fucking reason that I can fucking say. Just the natural predator of humanity is the billionaire. Fuck me, it's just been a bad time. I know. I've got to work, but I don't really want to. I think I'm going to watch some Raw. Oh, coincidentally, Raw's on Netflix now. For those of you who don't know, you all know. And it's fine. It's accessible, which is the main thing. Send money, send a box of Maltesers. I'm fucking starving, I haven't had any breakfast. I should probably do that. It's nearly lunch. Buzz buzz.